In this video, we're going to explore Vectorworks focus points, right? So this is going to be a way that we can focus a lot of lights, pretty easily and pretty quickly. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we need to make a new class. We're going to need to make a class for our focus points so that we can turn them off as needed. So the first thing I'll do is I'll open up my class window, and I have just made a class that's called focus points, and I'll just say edit, right? Obviously, use at creation. I've made it a solid so that the focus points have a fill color, and I've also given it a distinctive color. I've chosen pink. Pink is light enough that my black text is going to show through on it, and it's also dark enough or stands out enough that I know that it really doesn't belong in my light lab. So I'll be able to turn it off as needed. Pen style can be solid and black. And the thickness really doesn't matter, so the default of 0.05 millimeters will be fine, right? Use at creation, pink, and black, and 0.05, and I'll say OK. Now what I want to do is I want to make that my active class. So I'll put a check next to it. It'll go bold. I say OK, and now I'm in my drawing. And this is where we last left off. Now let's go back to our top plan view so that we can put things exactly where we want them. And if I understand correctly, Rex stands just right about in the center of that turntable, just right near the center. To get to our focus point tool, you'll need to open your lighting toolbox. You have a variety of toolboxes over here, and you can select them just by clicking once on them, right? And we want to use our lighting tool. Our first one you've been using all by yourself, right? Which is the lighting instrument tool, which means that you've been putting fixtures into your drawing. Vectorworks has automatically selected that when you selected your light. Here's a hang position tool, which we sort of did an end run around. But the third one over says focus point tool. And I'm just going to double click on our focus point tool, and now it's asking me for focus point properties, right? Focus point shape. Let's just leave standard hybrid alone. And we have our new class that we have made active. So let's just leave our default one alone, and let's say OK. And I'm just going to put one just kind of right about where Rex stands. And I think Rex stands in the middle of the circle. Now, what is the focus point that what do we want to call it? Well, why don't we just call it Rex, right? Rex is our focus friend. And so we'll just call him Rex. Now, I'm sorry, but Rex is not 5 feet high even on a good day. I think Rex is more like maybe 42 inches high. Yeah, actually, let's just go ahead and back that up and make it 4 feet. Let's just say that Rex is 4 feet high. I don't believe that they are, but I will call them 4 feet, and we'll say OK, right? So that just put a focus point here that's now for Rex, and this is great. Why don't we put in a few other focus points? I know that we have these fan lights that are out here, right? So why don't we, and I think that they kind of point off, in a fan shape. So I think the first one maybe points over here somewhere, right? And I'm going to call this fan 1, and I'm not going to give it any height because I'm thinking in terms of where they hit the floor, right? So let's just keep it right on the floor, and let's say OK. And now I think the next one sort of falls over here, and we'll adjust our focus. That's fan 2 at 0. We'll say OK. I can click over here, and it's automatically advancing my number, and it kept my focus height, and say OK. And then my last one is just the other side of this lighting pipe. Let's say it's right there. It's fan 4, and it says OK. Hey, this all looks really pretty good. The only thing that I'm looking at is it looks like I might want to move fan 4 over just a little bit. I don't think our pipes are symmetrical. I'm just looking at the distance between this. If I were totally picky, I would throw in some construction lines and line all that up exactly. But why don't we start simple, right? So this is the basis to put in focus points. And when we come back in the next video, we'll apply that focus and we'll be able to look at how some of this works with our lights.